You don't need silence to find peace. You just need the right words and at the right time and spoken gently into the night. What if the ancient Stoics could guide your dreams? Tonight, let them welcome to a journey inward, a quiet retreat, into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. In a world that never stops spinning, where worries pile up like unwashed dishes and tomorrow's to-do list waits impatiently in your mind, inner peace might seem like a luxury. But perhaps it isn't. Tonight, as your body prepares to rest, we invite your mind and soul to settle with it. Not into sleep just yet, but into a gentle state of awareness. A state where noise becomes silence, where judgment becomes acceptance, and where you realize everything you seek is already within you. In this space, we bring the voices of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca to you. They do not shout, they whisper. Let these whispers become your companions. Let them remind you that peace is not earned through conquest, but uncovered through presence. So breathe in, breathe out, let go. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You have power over your mind, not outside events. You don't need to fix the world to feel calm. It is enough to quiet the storm within. The next time something outside of you causes tension, ask, what part of this is mine to change, and what part must I simply witness? This is where your power begins. Every day, countless things happen around us. People say things, plans fall apart, technology fails, traffic jams, opportunities are missed. We live in a world of infinite motion, and yet, within us, there is the possibility of stillness. This is not an escape, but a return to the center of your being. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words not from a temple or a retreat, but as an emperor in the heart of conflict and chaos. And yet, in the noise, he found clarity. That clarity came from turning inward. He realized the mind is the only true kingdom we ever rule. Imagine your mind as a garden. Outside events are the weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy. But within the garden, you choose what to plant. Will it be fear or faith, anger or acceptance, worry or wisdom? You do not command the skies, but you do tend your soil. Real strength is not loud. It does not demand, it does not shake the walls. It is quiet. It shows up when you choose patience over panic. It grows each time you decide to focus on what you can influence and let go of what you cannot. This strength is yours, not tomorrow, not one day, but now. And tonight, as your head rests on your pillow, ask yourself, what do I need to release? What am I holding that was never mine to carry? Close your eyes and return to your breath. It is always there. It is always yours. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. There's a pause, just a breath, between what happens and what we do next. That space, however small, holds tremendous power. Within it lives our freedom, our dignity, and our peace. Most of the time we don't notice it. We react on impulse, caught in the rhythm of old patterns. But when we do pause, we take our life back. Think about today. Maybe something didn't go as planned. Someone spoke unkindly. A task felt overwhelming. The weather turned. An email arrived too late. In those moments, the temptation to react immediately with frustration, anger, blame, what is strong. But you are not your first emotion. You are not your first thought. You are the awareness behind them. Epictetus invites us to reclaim that awareness, to step back, to witness. He reminds us that it isn't the world that disturbs us. It's how we meet the world. Your reaction is your reflection, and the good news, that reflection can be shaped with care. A pause before a reaction is a gift you give yourself. It's a doorway into calm, into clarity. Imagine yourself standing in that doorway, looking out at the event before you. Can you respond with grace? Can you release the need to win or to defend or to explain? Can you simply breathe and choose differently? You are not a puppet pulled by strings. You are a composer, and every note you choose matters. Reacting with intention does not mean suppressing your truth. It means honoring it gently. So tonight, as you drift into rest, think of that pause. Let it expand. let it become a place of refuge, of power. Tomorrow, when the world asks something of you, remember, how you respond is yours entirely. And that's your superpower. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And you are learning to respond like a philosopher, like a flame that dances but never panics, like water that moves but never loses itself. Rest easy now. You've already begun. And now, let us slow down even more. We suffer more, often in imagination than in reality. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Your thoughts can be beautiful companions or cruel tyrants. Tonight, thank your mind for its stories, then gently remind it, not all stories are true. Rest now. You are safe in this moment. You are whole. It's strange, isn't it? How easily our minds wander into shadows that never existed. We imagine rejection before it happens. We rehearse worst-case scenarios, playing them like background music in our heads. We run from fires that haven't even been lit. Seneca, who lived through political upheaval and exile, understood something deeply human, that the vast majority of our suffering doesn't come from the world. It comes from how we think about it, from the fearful scripts we write in our minds. Ask yourself tonight, how many of today's worries actually came true, and how many were figments, painted by anxiety, narrated by fear, but never stepping into reality. Our minds are master storytellers, but they are not always honest narrators. They can be dramatic, exaggerated, even cruel. Left unchecked, they replay old pain, forecast new fears, and whisper lies in a convincing tone. That's why we must become gentle editors of our inner dialogue. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can observe a fearful thought without becoming it. You can say, "I see you," and let it drift by like a cloud across the night sky. You are not your fears. You are not the worry. You are the calm, quiet presence beneath them, like a deep ocean below a surface storm. Tonight, as you lie in the safety of this moment, take a breath and speak softly to yourself. Not all thoughts are true. Not all stories deserve to stay. Let your mind rest from its storytelling. Let it be silent. Let it heal. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are a human being, learning, growing, and trying to find peace in a world full of noise. That alone is a kind of heroism. So close your eyes and give your imagination permission to rest. Let it dream of beauty, not dread. Let it wander not into fear, but into freedom. You suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And now, you can let that suffering go. And now, let us slow down even more. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Your thoughts can be beautiful companions or cruel tyrants. Tonight, thank your mind for its stories, then gently remind it, not all stories are true. Rest now. You are safe in this moment. You are whole. It's strange, isn't it? How easily our minds wander into shadows that never existed. We imagine rejection before it happens. We rehearse worst-case scenarios, playing them like background music in our heads. We run from fires that haven't even been lit. Seneca, who lived through political upheaval and exile, understood something deeply human, that the vast majority of our suffering doesn't come from the world. It comes from how we think about it, from the fearful scripts we write in our minds. Ask yourself tonight, how many of today's worries actually came true, and how many were figments, painted by anxiety, narrated by fear, but never stepping into reality. Our minds are master storytellers, but they are not always honest narrators. They can be dramatic, exaggerated, even cruel. Left unchecked, they replay old pain, forecast new fears, and whisper lies in a convincing tone. That's why we must become gentle editors of our inner dialogue. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can observe a fearful thought without becoming it. You can say, "I see you," and let it drift by like a cloud across the night sky. You are not your fears. You are not the worry. You are the calm, quiet presence beneath them, like a deep ocean below a surface storm. Tonight, as you lie in the safety of this moment, take a breath and speak softly to yourself. Not all thoughts are true. Not all stories deserve to stay. Let your mind rest from its storytelling. Let it be silent. Let it heal. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are a human being, learning, growing, and trying to find peace in a world full of noise. That alone is a kind of heroism. So close your eyes and give your imagination permission to rest. Let it dream of beauty, not dread. Let it wander not into fear, but into freedom. You suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And now, you can let that suffering go. From the silence of thought, let us now return to the clarity of action, to the choices we make when no one is watching. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Living with integrity creates harmony. When your actions and words align with your values, your conscience is clear, and a clear conscience sleeps well. So tonight, release guilt. Trust that you're learning and you're doing your best. Imagine a life where your words carry the weight of truth and your steps follow the path of what is right, not for praise, not for show, but simply because it's who you are. That life begins with one honest moment at a time. Marcus Aurelius knew the burden of leadership, the noise of politics, the temptation to please the crowd. Yet he reminded himself, and us, that peace isn't found in applause. It's found in alignment. When what you believe, what you say, and what you do move as one, there will be days when you fall short, when you say something that doesn't feel true, when you act out of fear or frustration. But let those moments be teachers, not punishers. You're not meant to be perfect. You're meant to return. Return to what feels right, return to what feels real. Speak only what you mean. Do only what echoes your deeper values. Let your life be a quiet testament, not to perfection, but to intention. And if there's something heavy you carry, a lie told, a truth avoided, a regret unnamed, lay it down tonight. You cannot change the past, but you can free the future. By living honestly now, there is no need to prove yourself in the dark. Just breathe, just be. The most peaceful sleep belongs to those who walk through their days without deceit, with themselves or others. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let these words echo inside you, gently correcting the course of your inner compass. And now let your breath deepen. Let your heart soften. You are enough exactly as you are, especially when you live in truth. And now let's turn to a different kind of strength. One that's quieter than power and gentler than force. He who is brave is free. He who is brave is free. Courage isn't loud. It's the quiet decision to keep going even when uncertain. Every time you choose to stay kind, patient, and steady in the face of difficulty, you become freer than you were before. The world often tells us that bravery looks like grand gestures, like standing tall before a crowd, like charging into battle. But the Stoics knew a different kind of courage, the inner kind, the kind that shows up when you rise again after disappointment, when you forgive even when your heart is still sore, when you take one more step despite the weight. Seneca reminds us that freedom, true freedom, isn't about escaping our circumstances. It's about transcending them. It's about becoming unshakable inside, no matter how the winds of life blow. Tonight, reflect on your own quiet acts of courage. Maybe it was getting out of bed on a difficult day. Maybe it was holding your tongue when you could have lashed out. Maybe it was choosing honesty, choosing gentleness, choosing to try again. These choices may seem small, but they are not. They are how your spirit expands. They are how your soul becomes free. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It's your decision to walk forward with fear in your pocket and wisdom in your heart. As you lie here now, safe and still, feel the quiet strength inside you. You've been brave in more ways than you know, and with each act of courage, your chains fall away. Worry loses its grip, doubt fades. You become more of yourself. So tonight, let go of the need to impress or prove. Simply be. Be brave enough to rest. Be brave enough to heal. He who is brave is free. And you are becoming freer with every breath. And now let us gently explore the landscape of your inner world, the quiet space where your thoughts take root and bloom. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Tonight ask yourself, what color have my thoughts been today? If they were harsh, let them soften. If they were scattered, let them gather. If they were fearful, let them dissolve. Your soul deserves gentler hues. Thoughts may seem invisible, but they leave their mark. Like dye soaking into fabric, they color everything: your perception, your reactions, your sense of self. Over time, these thoughts don't just pass through you, they shape you. What you think, you become. The way you speak to yourself becomes your tone of living. Harsh thoughts bruise the heart, gentle thoughts heal it, and loving thoughts, even if whispered, restore the soul. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, guard your thoughts not with fear but with care. Like a painter choosing colors for a canvas, select what you let into your inner world. You wouldn't decorate your home with violence or shame. Why decorate your mind with them? And remember, you are allowed to begin again. If today your thoughts were rushed, angry, critical, you can begin again tonight. You can choose stillness over stress, understanding over judgment, hope over despair. Close your eyes and imagine your mind as a blank sky. One by one, let each cloud of fear or negativity drift away. Replace them with warmth, with grace, with calm. Let the colors shift. Let your inner sky clear. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. So tonight may your thoughts be soft like twilight and kind like a lullaby. May they paint your soul in peace. And now, let us step deeper into the realm of self-discipline, where freedom is not granted but grown. No man is free who is not master of himself. No man is free who is not master of himself. Self-mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means presence, awareness, the ability to notice your reactions and guide them, not to suppress, but to respond with wisdom. In a world that constantly pulls you toward distraction, temptation, emotional impulse, being the master of your own mind is a revolutionary act. It means choosing how to feel, how to respond, how to carry yourself, and even when everything else feels out of your hands. Freedom isn't just the absence of chains. It's the ability to live in alignment with what matters to you. When your decisions come from your values and not your moods, you become truly powerful. Epictetus knew this. As a man born into slavery, he understood what most people miss. External circumstances cannot define internal liberty. The person who yells is not in control. The one who rages is not free. But the one who notices the flame rising within and breathes through it, that person is self-mastery begins not with rules, but with awareness. When you feel irritation, ask, why is this here? When fear shows up, ask, is it real? When urgency rises, pause. Because you are not your reactions, you are the one who observes them. And when you observe, you regain your power. Tonight, let your body rest, but let your awareness remain tender. Invite it to witness your habits without judgment. Where do you give away your peace? What triggers knock you off course? Don't condemn, just notice. That is the beginning of mastery. You don't need to control everything. You only need to command your next choice. No man is free who is not master of himself. And you, in this stillness, are beginning to remember what true freedom feels like. And now that you've remembered your power to choose, let us turn toward something equally sacred, the power to begin again. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Begin at once to live and count each day as a separate life. Let today end. It was a life in itself. Tomorrow will be another. Carry forward only what serves you. Leave behind the rest. There is wisdom in starting anew. Every single day, Seneca invites us to treat each day as its own complete experience, not just a fragment of time, but a full chapter, a full life, with its own beginning, middle, and end. When we do this, something beautiful happens. We stop postponing life. We stop waiting for the perfect moment. We start living. So often we think in terms of someday. Someday I'll change. Someday I'll be happy. Someday I'll slow down. But what if today, just today, was enough? What if your only task was to live this one day well, to love gently, to speak truthfully, to walk slowly, to feel fully? There is great peace in living this way, because when the day ends, you can let it go. You can close the book knowing you wrote it with care. And tomorrow you begin again, with a fresh page, a fresh mind, a fresh spirit. Tonight, let the sun set not just outside your window, but inside your mind. Let it take with it the regrets, the tension, the should-haves. Breathe in the present moment. Exhale the past. When you wake, don't carry yesterday's weight. Begin again. Even the smallest act, making your bed, sipping your tea, stepping outside, can be the first sentence in a new story. Begin at once to live, Seneca tells us. Not later, not when it's convenient. Now. And so, as you lie in the stillness of night, say to yourself, this day was lived. It had its joy, its flaws, its lessons, and now it is complete. You do not need to fix what has passed. You only need to greet what comes with openness and grace. Tomorrow will be another life, and you are ready to live it well. And now, as we prepare to close one day and welcome the next, let us reflect not on ideals but on embodiment, on becoming the values we speak of. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Character is quiet. It isn't proclaimed. It is lived. It is in your next decision, your next gesture, your next word. Sleep not with regret, but with resolve. In a world that is often louder in opinions than in actions, Marcus Aurelius calls us back to simplicity, to doing, not debating. It's easy to talk about virtue, to describe what kindness, courage, or honesty looks like. But real character happens when no one is watching. It happens in how you treat a stranger, how you handle frustration, how you speak when anger rises. To be good is not to be perfect. It is to be consistent, to be committed, to strive in small ways to do the next right thing. Not because someone will applaud, but because your soul feels steady when you do. So tonight, forget the endless comparisons. Let go of the pressure to meet someone else's definition of worthy or successful. Instead, ask yourself, what did I do today that aligned with the person I want to be? And what might I do tomorrow to grow just 1 inch closer? Maybe it's pausing before you speak. Maybe it's apologizing. Maybe it's standing up for yourself or for someone else. Maybe it's simply being patient with your children, your partner, your own slow healing. Character is built in these small acts, one step at a time, one breath at a time, and yes, you are already on the path. So do not lie in bed tonight, measuring yourself against perfection. Rest in the knowledge that you are becoming, that you are learning, that you are trying, and that is enough. Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. Even now, in the quiet of your own heart, you can begin again. You've listened not just with your ears, but with your heart. The Stoics have spoken not to the anxious world, but to the stillness beneath it, to that part of you that remembers who you are when everything else fades. Let this peace remain. Let these truths echo softly into your sleep. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to return again and again to what matters, your choices, your character, your peace. So now, let go of the day. Let go of the weight. Let your mind soften. Let your breath slow. Sleep well, dear soul, and remember, you are enough.